Don't be fooled by food. Hello, I'm Eddie Lawrence, and here's today's devotional thought. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verses 1 and following, Paul talks about in the last days that some would depart from the faith. He gives two things going on to bring that about. The demonic and doctrine. Yes, the work of demons and false teachings. And he says what happens, the conscience is seared. You know, like you sear a steak, that seals the steak, it keeps the moisture in. The conscience seared doesn't allow the truth in. It creates a wall between that person and truth. He goes on to qualify these deceptions and doctrines. He said some forbid to marry, and some say you've got to abstain from certain foods. And he goes on from there saying, we all know that if it's received with thanksgiving, every creature, it's fine to eat. It's sanctified by the word of God and prayer. Now, first, let me say this. He's not saying that we shouldn't have concerns about taking care of our body and our diet. That's a totally different thing. That's a totally different field of thought. Yes, there can be physical benefits from eating or not eating certain foods. That's not what Paul's addressing. Paul is simply saying your diet is not a step that you must complete in order to be saved. It has nothing to do with your standing before God. And yet these deceivers with their false teaching were said, you can't marry. You know, if you're going to be right with God, you can't marry. If you're going to be right with God, you can't eat this, you can't eat that. So really abstinence from, God gave us, gave us marriage. That was his idea. The sexual relationship in marriage is God's idea. It's holy, sanctified before God. But these deceivers say, stay away from it. The same way with food. That's a natural appetite. Our body needs to be nurtured. Stay away from certain foods. So here are people who are building walls that make it more difficult to live a holy life. Now, there may be health benefits in your diet, but it has nothing to do with your standing of holiness before God. So be careful with those kind of things when you feel like that wall being built around you, that you're not holy if you eat this, you're not holy if you don't eat that, you're not holy if you're considering being married. Those are wrong teachings, and they sear the conscience when you heed them, obey them, and absorb them. Thank God that our salvation rests on the finished work of Jesus Christ, and your faith in him secures your place in heaven. That is trusting Christ and his good works, not relying upon your own. Should you have good works? Oh, you will have if you're saved. That's the fruit of having been saved. So this is important because Paul said this is a characteristic of the last days. So let's keep our eyes on Jesus. Let's be humble and honor the Lord and realize the power we have to sanctify through the Word of God and prayer. The Word and prayer. The Word and prayer. The Word and prayer. So important. That keeps us on track. The Word and prayer. Blessings.